Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarium of the Pacific. My name is Nayeli, and I'm an educator here at the Aquarium. In about 8 minutes, we're going to be getting started with our Blue Cavern show. So if you guys haven't had a chance to catch any of our dive shows yet at the Aquarium of the Pacific, you guys came at a perfect time. Like I said, this show does start at 3:15, so we do still have a while for you guys to get over here. We have some fins in the water, so some divers are heading down right now, but the diver who's going to be speaking with us isn't going to be getting in until a little bit later. And our divers play a really important role here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. They do so many jobs, and without them, it would be kind of impossible to take care of 12,000 fish and animals here. If you guys take a good look at them, they're going to be doing a variety of tasks. If any of you guys are divers, you guys know you guys never want to dive alone. So we have a diver in there being the safety diver, so looking out for the other divers in the water. Maybe the other diver will be cleaning. That's another job they do here at the aquarium. They clean our kelp, they clean our rocks, they clean our exhibit, just to make sure everything's okay for all of our animals. So one more time, this dive show will be starting in about 6 minutes. So you guys are more than welcome to join me. If you guys want to get a front row view, you guys are more than welcome to, but I need you guys to stay on the carpet just so everyone gets a really good view about what's going to be going on. Now, this is one of my favorite exhibits here at the aquarium, just because it's full of predator animals. So all these animals in here are the top dogs of the ecosystem, but one. We do have one prey animal in here, and I want you guys to try to guess what fish that is. All right, does anybody have any guesses on what prey animal is in this exhibit? Large amount of sardines in here, I believe 1,000 plus. And the reason we have those sardines in So once again, if you guys are in the Great Hall and can hear my voice, we do have a show starting in about 5 minutes. You guys are more than welcome to join us. And to everyone who's right here, if you guys could just do me a big favor and take a seat on the carpet so everyone gets a good view. And like I said before, this is just full of predator animals. Besides that group of sardines at the top, if you guys want to look at all the other animals that would live with our big predator fish, you guys just go down that Southern California and Baja exhibit. And then all the other animals you see is what would make up this ecosystem. Here at the aquarium, we love to base off our animals' homes, off their real life homes, off of the ocean. So we based this exhibit off of the popular dive site called Blue Cavern. If you guys are locals or divers, you guys have probably heard of this dive site. And that dive site's pretty cool because it is what is known as an MPA, or a marine protected area. And we're going to be talking all about marine protected areas once our diver makes their way into the water. And speaking of our diver, how do you guys think he's going to be able to speak with us? If you guys have ever tried to speak underwater, you guys know that that doesn't work out very well, and we just end up spitting out a bunch of bubbles. It makes us kind of inaudible. But this is a live dive show, so the divers are going to be speaking to us. It isn't pre-recorded. And we're going to be able to speak to our diver through this really cool mask. So if you guys look up at the top, once our diver comes in, they're going to be pulling on a yellow cord. And that yellow cord is what's going to give us the ability to talk to our diver. It's kind of like a really long microphone cord that connects to their mask. Alrighty, so one more time for everyone just joining me. If you guys could take a seat on the carpet. Just so everyone can get a really cool view of what's going to be going on in there. Alrighty, and it seems like our diver's in the water. So if you guys are looking at our diver, you guys are seeing that really long microphone cord. Alrighty, can you guys go back to the carpet? The show's going to start. Yeah. Alrighty, and we're looking for a super secret signal from our diver. So our diver's mic isn't on yet, so we're looking for this. And this means that they're going to be ready to start speaking to us. But we want to give them a few minutes to get adjusted to the water temperature in there and get all set up for us. Alrighty, so that got that okay sign. I'm going to be turning on the mic. Alrighty, how's it going in there?
Hi, it's Lindsay. Hi, everybody.
Alrighty, so before we get started with our show, do you mind introducing yourself to our guests?
Yeah, it's Lindsay. Hi.
Alrighty, Wendy. So in your time, how long have you been a diver?
I've been diving for 15 years.
Oh, that is very exciting. So in your time as a diver, have you ever had the opportunity to go to Blue Cavern yourself?
Yes, I have. It's a really beautiful place to visit in California, and I've been very lucky to go a few times.
Alrighty, so as I was saying before, we did base off this exhibit off of Blue Cavern. Do you think we did a good job?
Definitely. Blue Cavern is a really unique dive place to visit for diving or snorkeling because it does have beautiful rocky structures that you can kind of go in and out of and check what's hiding in the crevices. So this is a really great representation of what you might find if you went into the ocean all the way at Catalina.
Yes, so once again, if you guys ever want to go diving in Blue Cavern yourself, it's right off the island of Catalina, and it is a kelp forest ecosystem. So in the real Blue Cavern, there would be a lot more kelp than there is shown right here, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of kelp at Blue Cavern, especially right now.
Yes. So kelp is a really special place, and that is the ecosystem that you guys are looking at right now. There's a lot of animals that live in a kelp forest. You guys can think of a kelp forest ecosystem kind of like an apartment complex. All the way at the top, you guys would have the kelp going over and creating a canopy over the ocean. And that's where sea otters and fish leave their babies so they're safe. If you guys look towards the middle of the exhibit, you have some of our faster fish. And towards the middle of the exhibit, you guys see that really big silver fish, and that is our white sea bass. So the white sea bass has a really interesting story, doesn't it?
Yeah, so white sea bass are a really popular food choice for humans. We love to eat them. And I know a lot of people like to spearfish them because they're so big and impressive. But we were actually taking too much out of the ocean. We were taking them out faster than they were reproducing. So instead of basically not allowing any spearfishing or fishing of the white sea bass, we found out that we could use aquaculture to help them reproduce, to help their numbers stay healthy. So we do that now, and actually they're considered a sustainable seafood. So if you like seafood, they're a very good choice.
Yes. So if you guys do enjoy seafood, you guys have probably heard of the white sea bass. It's a really popular option on menus. And a long time ago, like Wendy was saying, we thought there weren't a lot of white sea bass left, but we were able to bring those populations up through aquaculture or fish farms. And that is an example of a sustainable seafood. And sustainable seafood is really exciting, and it sounds pretty boring, but it just ensures that sustainable fishing practices are going on. And if you guys have ever heard of the vaquita, you guys know that the vaquita has fallen victim to unsustainable fishing practices. So the vaquita is getting caught in nets meant for other animals and shrimp, and therefore it is drowning, and their populations are really low. So there's more of you in this audience than there are vaquita in the world. There's only less than 30 out there, and I know that number sounds really sad, but a long time ago, otters had the same numbers, and we were able to bring their populations back up. So if you guys want to help the vaquita and all the animals you guys see in here, make sure you guys look out for sustainable seafood. If you guys want to learn more about that, go to our website, seafoodforthefuture.com. But there's another animal here who has a similar conservation story to the white sea bass, and that is the giant sea bass. So it's that really big fish you guys are probably looking at. It was swimming right across Wendy not so long ago. For a big fish, they are really good at hiding. So they are right behind that kelp strand right there. And do you want to talk a little bit about that giant sea bass with our guest, Wendy?
Sure. So giant sea bass almost went extinct as well, just because of our sort of inconsiderate practices as humans. But luckily, we were able to put a stop to some of those practices just in time. We put a moratorium on all fishing for giant sea bass about 30 years ago, and now their numbers have increased, and they are no longer on the brink of extinction. And in fact, I know they did a count the other day and 2 dives, and they saw 18. So it's much more likely that you'll see one in the ocean now.
That is very exciting. So a long time ago, we did not think there were any more of that giant sea bass left. But according to Wendy, she just saw a few out in the ocean, and that's really important. Because when I started coming to the aquarium, about when I was 6 years old, we had a sign next to that giant sea bass, and it said vanishing animal. And the fact that it's out in the ocean and their numbers are coming back up slowly, that's a really good sign that we're doing a really important thing for that animal. And here at the aquarium, we have our own success story with that giant sea bass. We are the first institution to have ever reproduced a baby giant sea bass. So right now we have him up on display. But when he was born about 2 years ago, he was the size of your fingernail, and now he's the size of your palm. And you guys could go check him out in that Baja California exhibit. And that's pretty cool. And there is another really sustainable resource in this exhibit that's bigger than that giant sea bass, and I want you guys to try to figure it out. Can you take a seat for me, please? Alrighty. Yes, the seaweed. So whatever I have wrapped around my neck, I know you guys have probably seen it out on your beach adventures. That is kelp. And the kelp is really important to this ecosystem. Do you want to talk a little bit about kelp with us?
Sure. We're really lucky to have kelp in Southern California because although we have a lot of it here, it doesn't grow in a lot of places in the world. It needs a really special environment to grow, and we have that. It needs cold water and lots of sunshine, which I can promise you this water is nice and cold, and as you know, the sun shines almost every day here. So because of that, kelp is able to grow really fast. In fact, it can grow longer than the ocean is deep in a pretty short period of time. And it doesn't even stop growing then. It hits the surface and then it just folds over and keeps growing. So we're able to use that top part of the kelp in a lot of products.
Yes, so kelp is not only really important to all the animals in here who use it as a home, a place to get their meal, or for protection, we also use kelp. So I'm going to ask you guys a really important question. How many of you guys use kelp today? All right, I don't see any hands up. We have to rephrase that question, except for Wendy. Wendy used her kelp today. Alrighty, so have any of you guys brushed your teeth? Alrighty, I see a few hands up. It is a pretty hot day today, so how many of you guys would like to have ice cream? Yeah. And for the grown-ups in there, who wants to have a nice cold beer after today? All right, I see a few more hands up. I see a kid's hands up. All right. So if you guys enjoy any of those products I mentioned before, you guys have had kelp. Toothpaste has kelp, your shampoos have kelp, makeup has kelp, a lot of things have kelp. And they're really important to us, so how can we make sure that we keep kelp around for us and for the animals?
Well, one thing that I do is that I always respect the rules of all the marine protected areas. So if you live in Southern California, you may have visited a marine protected area without knowing it. For instance, Newport Beach and Laguna Beach has a lot of marine protected areas. So it's really important that you leave all the seashells in the ocean there, and that you don't do any fishing in areas where we're not supposed to be, because it keeps that area healthy and allows the ocean to recover, and actually fish get bigger, and we have more of them in the ocean when we do that. So that's one thing that I do in Southern California, just to help the ocean recover and get healthier.
Alrighty, so on that note, how many of you guys are from California? Alright, I see a lot of hands up. So if you guys are from California, these are your neighbors. So meet all of these guys. The giant sea bass are your neighbors, the white sea bass. They all live in the ocean. You guys like to visit once in a while, especially when it's hot during the summer. So you guys want to be good neighbors to them and do a lot of things. Like Wendy was saying, you guys probably do visit marine protected areas yourself. Just make sure to be extra respectful when you guys are there. Picking up your trash is a really good thing because we keep all that plastic out of the ocean. So if you guys have ever heard of reduce, reuse, recycle, just keep that in mind next time you guys are on your beach trip or your beach day. Is there anything else you would like to add, Wendy?
Thank you guys so much for coming to the aquarium. I really enjoy giving presentations, so thank you.
Alrighty, can you guys help me give Wendy a round of applause? Yes, so she is a volunteer diver as well as her other divers in the exhibit with us today. They do so much for the aquarium. If you guys didn't hear me earlier, they give us the presentations, they clean up, they feed our fish, and they look after our fish. We wouldn't be able to do that without them. There's 13,000 animals here. So without our divers, we wouldn't be very successful. And I want to thank you guys for coming out today. Every dollar you guys spend here goes right back into our exhibit maintenance and other conservation efforts we have. And I hope you guys are having a great day exploring with us at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Wendy, do you have time to take photos with our guests?
Sure.
Alrighty, so if you guys want a photo with Wendy, you guys are more than welcome to go up there. Once again, I hope you guys have a great day exploring here.